Yes, particularly nice to be here in Argentina, first of all because I'm Italian and so we are sort of brother countries, not in football maybe, and because I'm in Argentina, experiencing something that we are living now in Europe. Many times the situation of Greece and of the other so-called peripheral European countries is compared to the experience of Argentina during the 90s. There is a similarity between the experience of Argentina with the currency board and the European Monetary Union. Very similar things taking place in Argentina and in the European Union. I mean, with the liberalization of capital flows and with fixed exchange rates, I mean, currency board, or the extreme case of fixed exchange rate, which is the currency union, you had capital flows, let's say, from core European countries towards the periphery, and we had the European periphery as usually includes Greece, Spain, Portugal, Ireland. Italy is not precisely periphery in the sense that it's a bit in the middle between core Europe, strong Europe, Germany, and the real periphery. But I mean, for some reason, anyway, the Italian economy now share the same problems of the European periphery. And so we had capital flows from the core to especially to Spain and to Ireland. These capital flows finance a construction boom in those countries. Actually, the European periphery, not including Italy, the European periphery had high rates of growth during like in Argentina, during the first 8 years of the European Monetary Union. But it was ephemeral growth, because I mean these capital flows, classical economists thought the capital flows were going to sustain investment. There is not such a mechanical connection. I mean, so they led to a consumption boom, not to an investment boom. And foreign debt in Argentina and the European periphery grew until the situation, was not anymore sustainable. Of course, the global crisis that originated in the United States, but make the things, the sustainability of this European model impossible, more difficult to. So what is really bad in the current situation and make me not really optimist is that, I mean, Argentina still retained in 2001 its currency, so you could get out from that mad idea of the currency board. Now in Europe we share the same currency. A break of the euro is a sort of nightmare. Staying the euro is a nightmare as well. And what's really crazy is that solutions are there to correct the European model and to save Europe as a model, a social model for the rest of the world. I mean, the correction would imply that Germany, the core, by far the most powerful European country, stops to behave in a mercantilist way. Mercantilist means that Germany systematically wants to sell more than it buys from the rest of Europe, which is bad for Europe, it's bad for the global economy, because I mean Germany should be an engine of growth, a source of demand both for Europe and for the world economy. So Germany should. The other side, I mean, it's very difficult to ask that to the Germans. I mean, the German model is a perfect model. I mean, all the German society is involved in this idea of having a trade surplus. The trade unions are very cooperative with this model. Although, I mean, there is what is funny, wage moderation in Germany, not in all sectors, especially in the service sector, but wages are low in Germany, relatively, let's say, to the productivity, high productivity of a German worker. But nonetheless, this model, this export-led model has brought benefits to the German society. And it's very difficult to ask the Germans to change this model, but this model is really unsustainable and conflictual with the rest of the European economy. And I mean, in Europe we have to rebalance the current accounts, and the periphery can, as godly, the periphery can obtain in the long run a surplus in the current accounts, or a balanced current accounts, only if Germany stops pursuing a surplus in its current accounts. So we should have a recovery in Europe led by Germany, that should stop this wage moderation policy, that should have more expansionary policies. And this is good for Europe and good for the global economy. And we should have a new role for the ECB. The ECB is a foreign central bank for all of us. The ECB Statuto, how do you say in English, is a very monetarist one. We learned that beautiful things that happened in Argentina, that your central bank from yesterday is not anymore what you learn in a textbook, an independent central bank. Is a dependent central bank, because he has to pursue, to cooperate with fiscal policy, because it's not sure what you have learned, what you are obliged to learn on textbook, that monetary policy is not effective. Monetary policy is effective. He has to cooperate with fiscal policy and to target employment and economic growth, caring much less about inflation, which is not, I mean, if you ask people to vote, which point of the Phillips curve you would like to be, well, people would say employment is the first thing. Okay, we don't want hyperinflation of that kind of things, but I mean, you must, with involvement of the trade unions in a cooperative model as the Scandinavian done to us, you can get full employment with a reasonably low inflation rate. So I mean, we should change in Italy, in Europe, the status of the European Central Bank. I mean, this explosion of, first, as you probably know, that the origin of the European crisis is not in the profligacy of the public sectors in the periphery. As in the United States, the origin of the crisis is in the private sector, the capital flows, financing housing bubbles and things like that. Then the state had to intervene to save banks, and this inflated the public debt, of course. If you have not a central bank which is cooperative in keeping the interest rates on the sovereign debt of the periphery at low levels, then, you know, with high interest rate, the problem of the public debt is become unsustainable. So we really need a different European Central Bank. We need a different Germany. I see things in Europe, I believe, must get much worse to improve to have an improvement. I was very happy yesterday to read that the recession is starting to bite also in Germany. Because unless the Germans are, you know, because it was so paradoxical that with the European crisis, the euro devaluated against the dollar and against the yen, and the German exports to China boomed. It's paradoxical, the Germans are always gaining, even from the suffering of the other people. But I mean, if something goes wrong in China, with the recession of the rest of Europe, maybe things will get worse in Germany. And maybe with some pressures from outside, from the United States, from the emerging economies, maybe something might change in their policies. So I think you are living now here in magic moment, and you are very lucky, and please keep in touch.